UFOs are real, but what are they? Secret military craft? Or could they be something more mind-bending, like vehicles from distant futures or other dimensions?
We don't know where they come from, but these objects are more than just a product of science fiction. They are a real phenomenon.
The technology that we faced was far superior than anything that we had. You're talking something that can go into space, go someplace, drop down in a matter of seconds, do whatever it wants, and leave, and there's nothing we can do about it.
These objects were staying completely stationary in Category 4 hurricane winds. These same objects would then accelerate to supersonic speeds, 1.1, 1.2 Mach, and they would do so in very erratic and quick behaviors that I don't have an explanation for.
While there's no explanation on the origin of these objects, there are many theories floating around. Some UFO experts, like Professor Michael Masters, believe that these visitors might actually be humans from the future, coming back in time to check us out, their ancestors, in a more up-close and personal way. He says that some UFOs are made of metamaterial that could let them cruise through time. He's talking about UFOs that are actually time machines. Former intelligence officer Alain Joulet proposes an intriguing possibility: the interdimension hypothesis. He's convinced that these UFOs have something to do with parallel dimensions, like unseen realms intertwined with our own reality. These are all pretty wild ideas, and we don't have all the facts yet. But we have evidence that go all the way back to the 1940s that seems to suggest that these unidentified objects might be piloted by non-human biological entities. Let's take a look at the famous Roswell Incident in 1947. A lot has been said about this incident, and it continues to be a real paradox. In the summer of 1947, a local rancher stumbled upon a bizarre wreckage on his property, unlike anything he had seen before. The next day, the U.S. Army sent out a shocking press release announcing they'd recovered a flying disc from a ranch near Roswell, New Mexico. And we all know what happened next. After the news spread around the country, the Army quickly changed their initial report and now claimed that the debris was nothing more than a weather balloon. To back up their new explanation, they released photographs showing Major Jesse Marcel posing with pieces of the alleged weather balloon. But the witnesses who saw the wreckage said the debris they saw was not a weather balloon, and it was not from this planet. They also claimed that alien bodies were recovered from the crash site. Of course, the government has denied that claim, and to this day, over 70 years later, the Roswell incident continues to be an enigma. 3 years later, in 1950, a baseball coach named Nick Mariana captured what is considered the first video evidence of UFOs over the skies of Montana.
The discs appeared to be spinning like a top and were about 50 feet across and about 50 yards apart. I could not see any exhaust, wings, or any kind of fuselage.
His video was examined by the military, and they concluded it was authentic. They had no explanation for the mysterious objects. Fast forwarding to 1961, the alien abduction story by Betty and Barney Hill captured everybody's attention.
Hello, which one have I got on the line, or have I got your phone?
You have us both on.
Oh, how wonderful. Hello, that's you, Barney?
Yes, that's correct.
And Betty, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Now, as I understand it, we have to go back to 1961 to start this whole incident, don't we?
Yes, that's right.
Betty and Barney said that on September 19, 1961, they were on their way back home from their honeymoon in Montreal. While driving through the White Mountains in New Hampshire, they claimed they were followed by what seemed to be a spotlight, which eventually led them to stop. Surprisingly, they saw an object hovering above their car. Seconds later, they were enveloped in a beam of light and lost consciousness. When they woke up, they realized that they were miles further along the road and had no recollection of the past 2 hours. Initially, they kept the incident to themselves. However, they began experiencing nightmares and anxiety over the incident. So they turned to hypnosis, hoping to uncover suppressed memories of the event. During hypnosis, Betty and Barney recalled boarding a flying disc and being taken into strange rooms for physical examinations by alien beings. It's an extraordinary story that presents a highly intriguing case for the possibility of alien visitation. More recently, in 1997, the city of Phoenix witnessed an incredible event that left thousands of people scratching their heads. On the evening of March 13, 1997, people across the state reported seeing a silent, miles-long V-shaped group of lights gliding quietly in the sky. The phenomenon was called the Phoenix Lights. As of today, it is one of the most significant UFO sightings in history because thousands of people saw these massive objects gliding right above them. And there are plenty of video evidence of the incident. However, 26 years later, we still don't know what it was. If you have been watching the news lately, you have probably heard about the Nimitz Encounter. On November 14, 2004, two F-18 Super Hornets from the USS Nimitz were patrolling off the coast of San Diego when they encountered a bizarre object flying at high speed over the water before disappearing from radar. The object reappeared 60 miles away in less than a minute. Commander David Fravor, who was one of the Super Hornet pilots, described the flying object as wingless craft resembling a tic-tac pill. According to Fravor, the object flew faster than 2,400 miles per hour and didn't have any visible means of propulsion. During a congressional hearing on July 26, 2023, Fravor said that the technology the pilots faced was far superior than anything we have.
The technology that we faced was far superior than anything that we had, and you could put that anywhere. If you had one, you captured one, you reverse engineered it, you got it to work, you're talking something that can go into space, go someplace, drop down in a matter of seconds, do whatever it wants, and leave, and there's nothing we can do about it.
At the same hearing, former intelligence officer David Grush testified under oath that the U.S. government has recovered non-human biological remains from the crash site of a UFO.
Government is in possession of potentially non-human spacecraft. Based on your experience and extensive conversations with experts, do you believe our government has made contact with intelligent extraterrestrials?
As I've stated publicly already in my News Nation interview, biologics came with some of these recoveries, yeah.
Were they, I guess, human or non-human biologics?
Non-human, and that was the assessment of people with direct knowledge on the program I talked to that are currently still on the program.
It's unclear if he was talking about the famous Roswell Incident in 1947 or a more recent crash. These are just a few of the mind-boggling cases out there. Yeah, some people might be skeptical, but all this evidence cannot just be brushed aside. Whether these unidentified flying objects are advanced time machines or interdimensional travelers, one thing is clear: the universe is vast, and there's a high probability that we are not alone. And if we keep digging into the UFO phenomena with an open mind and a sense of wonder, maybe one day we'll find the answers we're looking for.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this content, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe.